from compassion. It's just my nature. I come from a willingness to understand and to be understood.
Right.
And I come from wanting to connect. I mean, the secret of that show for 25 years is that people could see themselves in me.
Reports are spreading that the FBI may have found shocking information about Oprah Winfrey's private life. Some say it links her to secret activities similar to those rumored about other wealthy elites.
All over the world, they could see themselves in me. And even as I became more and more financially successful, which was a big surprise to me, I was like, oh my God, this is so exciting.
You mean you got more than that 30,000?
I got more than 30,000 by the time I was 30. But what I realized is through the whole process, because I'm grounded in my own self, that although I could have more shoes.
Oprah Winfrey's land purchases in Maui have stirred both praise and criticism. She now owns over 2,000 acres on the island, raising concerns about wealthy non-Hawaiians buying large areas of land. Critics argue her holdings might add to gentrification and limit access for locals, a common worry in Hawaii, where many wonder why she needs so much land.
There's mixed reaction tonight from Maui, where Oprah Winfrey recently bought hundreds of acres of ag land in upcountry.
Now, we were the first to tell you about this earlier this week. Some disagree with the buy, but as KT24's Ali Duklo explains, two lawmakers say it's actually a good thing.
Some on social media are calling the buy excessive because the millionaire already owns more than 100 acres in upcountry in Hana before buying 870 more acres in Kula.
Ag land is treasured here. As you can imagine, it's open space, it's beautiful.
Oprah's estate in Maui is huge, covering vast acres and even including a private road. While some speculate about her reasons, there's no credible evidence linking her real estate to any illegal activities. The private road was built to address accessibility issues to her property, but some see this privacy as a sign of secrecy.
People understand how much property Oprah actually owns on the island of Maui. You look up pictures of the house and this is what you see. You see her house, a mansion with her guest house is also a mansion. But this doesn't tell the full story. Zoomed out on Google Earth, she has this exact division of property, almost 1,000 acres that she owns solely. One person owns this much property on someone else's sacred land. Nobody needs that. Her property has its own private road that only a few people can use. So when you go and you look at pictures of Oprah's house on Maui and you only see stuff like this, just know that's not her property. She owns 1,000 times more than what you're seeing. She bought all that property somehow for $6.6 million. If you go and you estimate the value of all that acreage now in Maui, it's over $300 million. So basically, she could sell a third of that land back to the people of Maui at full market price, which is still evil, and use that $100 million to give it back to the people of Maui. No one person needs that much property of any island. It's ridiculous.
Oprah Winfrey opened the Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy for girls in South Africa in 2007 to give opportunities to underprivileged girls with high potential. Oprah has been personally involved in selecting students for the school. While her dedication has been widely praised, the school faced controversy shortly after opening when a dorm matron was accused of mistreating students.
Oprah Winfrey has had a lot of controversy around her African school for girls, with huge conspiracy theories starting that these girls were going missing from Oprah's school. All of these theories started shortly after Oprah opened her school in 2007, and the matron of that school was charged with essay of 7 different girls. Oprah ended up offering a public apology to the parents and the children and citing her own essay incidents in this apology. But the matron would then be found not guilty of these crimes. But then it shocked the nation because shortly after this, Oprah's school was hit with another essay allegation. 7 students were suspended for harassing and fondling classmates. And a lot of people thought that this stemmed from the very first incident, because why would these children be acting like this? And the rumors started swirling after this point because they just didn't understand how these things could happen so close to one another. And then boom, there was another investigation at Oprah's school after the body of a newborn was found in a girl's book bag. And a lot of people were freaking out about this because they're like, boom, we have 2 essay allegations and now all of a sudden a young girl has a baby in her book bag. Everyone found these incidents super alarming, and it's still something talked about to this day.
One serious allegation involves missing girls from Oprah's academy.
It's under her leadership. There's been so many suspicious activities happening, but recently there have been reports that girls have been going missing, of the missing girls that's been rumored to be coming from Oprah Winfrey's school, and people on social media are demanding that they look for these girls and bring them home.
Oprah Winfrey has been connected to Jeffrey Epstein in various theories. While Epstein's social circle included many powerful people, Oprah's name has come up in legitimate investigations and documents linked to his criminal activities.
They never came back and said nothing about it. I was like, yo, damn, he still got power like that? Somebody still like him like that? Because you know he was running with Oprah and them. He was running with that whole crew. Weinstein, Oprah, Epstein, he was running with that whole crew. They want to know how we're going to do it, how the public is going to take him. Is the public going to let him back in? And the public is not. The public is already canceling him.
Claims suggest that Oprah visited Epstein's infamous island and was involved in his trafficking operations.
Epstein's list was released yesterday, but do you remember that time Ricky Gervais called out the Hollywood elite for their ties with Jeffrey Epstein? Like literally right to their face.
The announcement of the People's Fund of Maui, launched by Oprah and Dwayne Johnson, faced a lot of backlash. Critics quickly noted that both are billionaires and questioned why they were asking the public for donations when they could easily cover the recovery costs themselves. Many felt that their initial $10 million contribution was too little given their wealth, and that asking for public donations seemed out of touch with what those affected by the fires are going through.
Oprah has also faced a lot of criticism for is the friends who she keeps in her corner, specifically the predatory men who she keeps in her corner. Some of those predatory men include Harvey Weinstein and Russell Simmons. I think we all are very aware of what Harvey Weinstein has done. But in 2021, actress Rose McGowan, who has been a very outspoken voice, a part of the Me Too movement, called Oprah out for her association to Harvey Weinstein. Rose described Oprah as fake and not the trustworthy woman that she claims to be. And if Harvey Weinstein wasn't bad enough, Oprah Winfrey had no problem being associated with Russell Simmons, who has been accused of R-word by 15 different women, and he also began dating the mother of his children when she was not a legal adult. But Oprah had no problem rubbing shoulders and even working with Russell Simmons until the pressure got just too hot for him and he fled the country. But Rose McGowan was not the only celebrity to call out Oprah and her friendship with Harvey Weinstein. The singer Seal also took to social media to call Oprah out for her association to predatory men. Seal has claimed that Oprah Winfrey was fully aware of what her pal Harvey Weinstein was doing, and when he was exposed for what he had done, Oprah tried to position herself as the solution instead of understanding that she was a part of.
The backlash shows increasing frustration with the philanthropy of the ultra-wealthy, especially when they ask the public for donations.
Lil Nas X making a Satan shoe and straddling who is picking these people and putting them in the most public and applauding them and saying this is great, this is great, this is great. That is a decision that is being made with purpose, okay, by people that have nefarious intentions. I view the people like Cardi B, Harry Styles, Lil Nas X, those are pawns in a game that is much bigger and much more twisted than they could possibly.
Allegations of Oprah's involvement in trafficking have spread widely on social media, leading her to address the claims directly, even though she denies them. Critics remain doubtful, citing her connections to other high-profile figures who have faced similar accusations.
Leadership Academy for Girls. She was arrested yesterday for several charges, including assault, indecent assault, as well as soliciting girls under the age to commit indecent assault. And she's now at the Vereniging police cells.
Matole Macheka for that. Thank you.
I think the school has been open because they handed us a report of what was happening there, and they asked us to investigate what was happening there. And on our investigation, we arrested a woman who is a former employee. I think they have been open to make sure that all the criminal acts that have been taken place in the school are being investigated.
Oprah's connections to controversial figures like Russell Simmons have drawn criticism. Simmons has faced multiple accusations of misconduct and was initially the subject of a documentary produced by Oprah. However, she later distanced herself from the project, which upset some who felt she was protecting her wealthy friends.
She's been loved by the public for her generosity, but now with one move of generosity, she's angered Hawaiians. Oprah recently announced with Dwayne Johnson they will be donating $10 million to help recovery from the fires going on in Maui. The Maui fires are the worst natural disaster in American history, with 115 confirmed dead so far and 385 people still missing. For Oprah, she's had a mixed reaction in Hawaii, where she wasn't allowed into a shelter for people who lost their homes due to the fire. That's because even though she was going to the shelter to hand out supplies, the staff wouldn't let her in because she wanted to bring her camera crew in as well, and they thought it would disturb the victims. Oprah did eventually go in, but it was reported she spent over an hour arguing trying to get her camera crew to go in as well. What's caused the main criticism in Hawaii is Oprah owns 830 acres of land there, which Oprah calls Oprah's farm. Oprah was criticized for doing because the average home price in Hawaii is the highest in the United States, being $836,000 on average. Oprah only lives in Hawaii for a couple months of the year, so this angers many Hawaiians, feeling this land could be used to house thousands of people. When Oprah did her live stream with Dwayne Johnson, she was criticized by people for not letting victims use her land as shelter. Hey, she still contributed $5 million. With that, I'm Charles Barlow. Subscribe to learn something.
Critics argue that her relationships with people like Simmons reflect poorly on her judgment and raise concerns about her ties to individuals accused of serious crimes.
Breaking news, Oprah Winfrey and The Rock pledged $10 million for the Maui fire victims. Now, a lot of people have been asking my opinion on this, and to be honest with you guys, I'm not a fan of this at all. First of all, pledging isn't giving the victims any money, it's just saying you're going to. And also, they're not giving money out of their bank accounts. They're opening up a charity and asking you for your money. And then they can take credit for it. I mean, I find it hilarious that one billionaire and one multi-millionaire is asking the common folk for charity donations. I don't know, if you guys really cared about the issue, you'd spend money out of your own bank account and not ask poorer people than you to help take care of the bill. Like, it's kind of sad that they are asking for charity and then they're going to take credit for it. It's like, oh, hey, could you give me $10 million? And then I'm going to take credit for it and let everyone know, like, look at how good of a person I am.
Oprah has addressed the trafficking allegations circulating about her on social media. Some believe she is speaking out now because she knows she will be exposed.
They didn't use the word sexual abuse. They implied that something inappropriate was going on. Hearing that, John Samuel, immediately after hearing that allegation, removed the accused, Tiny Makoto, from the campus. I was, needless to say, devastated and really shaken to my core when I first heard this news. And immediately within the first hour of receiving this information, I contacted here in the United States Dr. Bruce Perry, who is founder of the Child Trauma Academy in Houston, Texas. And Dr. Perry informed me that the law in the United States requires that one must report, even if you suspect child abuse, it must be reported to the Child Protective Services. And so he said, if I were you, I would confirm if that is also the law in South Africa, which I did. And first thing Monday morning, I contacted Superintendent Needling and told him that I wasn't sure what had happened, but there was a suspicion on the part of the girls of some type of sexual abuse. I told Andre Needling that I wanted to conduct an independent investigation to determine what exactly had happened, and that I would appreciate his advice and his guidance.
Allegations that Oprah groomed children for Diddy on her private island are part of a broader series of conspiracy theories involving Hollywood elites. Critics who believe these theories suggest that Oprah is part of a network of powerful people who exploit young individuals. These claims are fueled by the secrecy around her private properties and her relationships with other wealthy figures.
2007, Oprah Winfrey opened up a boarding school in South Africa. The academy had salons and gyms in it. Allegations have surfaced that this school was a front for child trafficking. These girls would be allegedly groomed to be ready for sale. Oprah handpicked the young girls who attended her school based on physical appearance, but it wasn't long until word got out about what really the school was about. Turns out these young girls were being touched or broken in by one of the employees there to allegedly get them ready for clients. Authorities found out about it, and the employee was charged with 13 counts of getting inappropriate with kids. Turns out at least 6 girls aged 13 to 15 were allegedly systematically and ritualistically targeted. Oprah went on record saying she was going to look at the situation, but after her investigation, the employee was cleared of any wrongdoing, and some allege Oprah had a hand in trying to cover it up. But these incidents continue to rock the school, including a newborn baby being found unalived at the school, which some say was.
The controversies surrounding Oprah's school in South Africa continue to attract criticism over claims of physical mistreatment. The scandal that emerged shortly after the school opened significantly damaged its reputation. Despite Oprah's efforts to address the issue, many critics still question the safety and oversight at the institution.